Thanks, George. Hi, everyone. Great to be here. Very excited to finally bring Powerwall to Ireland. It was great to have the launch event last week in Cork. What we're going to do today is take you through a very high-level overview of Powerwall 3, a bit about us as a business, and also if there's any questions throughout, stick them in the Q&A, and we'll cover them at the end. So, without further ado, George, let's kick it off. Um, yeah, so today's plan, what we're going to do is kind of give you an overview of the team, a bit about the Tesla mission, and then what we'll do is we'll break Powerwall into four sections just to try and give you the most comprehensive overview we can in the time we've got today. We'll cover best performance, durability, how easy it is to install, and last but not least, the kind of value it will drive towards our joint customers. So moving forward, so this is the team. So the team over in Ireland will be supported by my team in the UK. I manage the UK and Ireland for our residential energy products. Our head of sales for EMEA, a guy called Chris Penders, some of you may be familiar with. He's been in renewables for forever. Is based down in Southampton. He also operates out of the UK. We have a team of three. We have Emma, who looks after Scotland and north of England. George, who looks after the southwest. We've got Jim who looks after the southeast. Dan Utting is our country technical manager. He'll be the man who you ask all the very difficult technical questions to. We've also got Lucifer Clark, who's our field trainer. He'll be coming over to Ireland regularly to do in-person training sessions with a live unit to get you ready for your first installs. And then last but not least, we have Henrietta, who is our internal sales rep based out of Berlin, supporting you. You can reach any of us in the team on the email address at the bottom. We've also just set up an Irish account as well, which would be powerwall-ie@tesla.com. And the phone number on your screen just now is the support line. So if you're on site requiring support, give us a bell. We're there to support you. Now, why are Tesla here? Our mission is to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. It flies through absolutely everything we do as a business. Every decision we make, every product we build is built with that in mind. And hand on heart, I can say I've never worked for a company where every single person is so laser focused on a mission as it is at Tesla, and it's a privilege to be part of it. Now, to kind of give you a flavour of what we're actually building to accelerate that change is the Tesla ecosystem. Now, there's a lot going on here. People often think of Tesla as just a vehicle manufacturer, but as you can see, there is so much more to it. We have large scale manufacturing, which I'll show you shortly. We have trucking, so we are bringing out our semi truck, which will reduce the carbon footprint globally. We have our Optimus robot. You've probably seen them. Knocking about on videos online. It's designed that you'll be able to purchase in the future to take away those boring, mundane jobs that you have around your house. We have huge AI data centers. We have our industrial battery system, which is Megapack. We have our supercharger network, the most reliable charging infrastructure globally. We have Powerwall, which is also going to be the focus of today's session. Our solar products, which are only available currently in the US. Our home EV charging. And then we've got Cybercab and the Robovan, which is fully autonomous level 5 driving with no steering wheel, no pedals. So it kind of gives you a flavour of what we're working on and how we're gearing up for the future. Now, to give you a bit more flavour about where we produce, so I've been at Tesla for the last 8 years, and when I joined, we had Fremont, and we're starting to build the factory in Nevada. And as you can see, we have significantly scaled up our production over those 8 years at a credible rate. Now, to give you some flavour of what we do at these factories, Texas is where we produce our Cybertruck. That's solely what is produced out of Texas. Nevada is it's out in Reno in the middle of the desert. It's probably going to be the largest building in the world when it's completed, but it is also where we manufacture Powerwall, our cell production, our Model 3 drivetrains, everything's produced there from Nevada. Fremont is a former GM facility, and we produce Model 3, S, X, and Y for the American market there. Our factory in New York is where we produce our solar products and the Powerwall Dolly, which we'll cover later on. Shanghai, which is where all new Model 3 production is done for Europe. And then last but not least is our European factory in Giga Berlin. We produce all new Model Ys for Europe and the UK from Giga Berlin. It's also got the largest EV charging park in the world. So I highly recommend if you're ever in any of these cities, reach out to me. I'm more than happy to hook you up with a tour. I highly recommend it. It's quite spectacular. But what I'm going to focus on this next slide is at the Gigafactory in Nevada. Now, this is a kind of render of what it will look like when it's completed. We're still under construction. what we'll do is as we move on to the next slide, you'll see as we scale production, the image in the background is what it looked like a couple of years ago. We build it in these huge blocks, and once we finish a block, we move all the manufacturing equipment inside and then start production of the next block to scale the production capacity. When it's completed, it'll be the largest footprint building in the world at 6 million square feet. Now, to give you some context in terms of what that equates to, it's the equivalent of 93 Boeing 747 jets, so it's bigger than the Boeing factory. And don't ask me why, but we like to equate everything in Tesla to hamsters. So you can also fit 50 billion hamsters in there. Don't want to meet the man who came up with the maths behind that, but you'll have to trust us on that one. So yeah, it gives you a flavour of the scale of production that we're operating at. But what we're working on is we work in master plans, and basically Elon will sit and decide what is the next phase of growth that we need to work on as Tesla. And we're currently on part three of the master plan, which is building out the sustainable energy economy. Now, there's some pretty lofty numbers in here in typical Tesla fashion. We want to deploy 240 terawatt hours of storage with 30 terawatts of renewable power. Huge numbers, but the most important number on that screen is there's zero resource challenges. There is more than enough materials in the world for what we need to achieve these numbers. Recycling lithium is cheaper than mining new lithium, so we've got recycling plants that we have as well. Like this is achievable, and working with partners with yourself is how quickly we'll accelerate this. We are seeing global mass adoption of battery storage at rates we have never seen before, so we are hurtling towards this at breakneck speed, and you guys will be a key part of that. Now, to kind of show you that I'm not just talking nonsense and that we are actually deploying at a huge rate. This is how quickly we've grown. So I joined Tesla in 2017, and you can see the growth we've been on over the last few years. It's incredible year-on-year growth. To give you a flavour of what we are seeing, in Q1 this year, we deployed a gigawatt hour of Powerwall globally. Now, a gigawatt hour, to make it kind of easier to digest, a gigawatt hour power plant can power 895,000 homes for a year. So we did that in 3 months. We've deployed the equivalent of 12 of those over the years. So we've essentially built a power plant that can power 10.5 million homes virtually through Powerwalls globally. And it's hurtling at a breakneck pace. Q2 was another strong quarter. Q3 will break records again. So it's just continued to scale at a massive rate. Now, to give you a bit more oversight in terms of where we've been, we had Powerwall 1, which we brought out in 2015. It was a great first product, but it wasn't quite Tesla-like in what we wanted to do with it. It was difficult to install. It had a big wooden crate that you had to mount the wall to mount the battery to it. You needed a third-party solar inverter, a third-party battery inverter. It just wasn't what we envisaged when we first kind of set out to change the world in terms of battery storage. So in 2017, we quickly changed to Powerwall 2, and this has been the kind of mainstay for Powerwall globally. We've had more than 700,000 of these deployed globally. We integrated the battery inverter, still required a third-party solar inverter, and while it was easier to install than Powerwall 1, it wasn't as easy as we would have liked. So we've addressed all this with Powerwall 3. We've integrated the battery and solar inverter into the one box, so you can AC or DC couple it. You can actually do both at the same time, and we've made it much easier to install. The whole front plate of the Powerwall now comes off, and you've got the whole top third of the unit as a wiring chamber, so a lot easier in terms of install capacity. Now, what we're going to do as well is as we ramp up the scale of our deployments, we're looking at what we can do with that more power that you have at your fingertips. So, in terms of things like virtual power plants and retail tariff optimizations, we have over 100,000 Powerwalls enrolled in virtual power plants globally, market leaders in this sense. To give you a flavor of some of the things we do, in Texas, Tesla's actually your energy retailer. You buy electricity from us, and you can only access it if you have a Powerwall or a Tesla vehicle, and it will give you access to unlimited overnight charging for $15 a month and $400 a year guaranteed minimum payment in terms of virtual power plants. So, really exciting things are happening in that space. We're also bringing our ecosystem closer and closer together. So you'll be able to use what we call charge on solar to divert energy from your solar to your car. So you're not only powering your home sustainably, but you're powering your vehicle on solar as well. And then backup protection. One of the things I've learned from my meetings I've had in Ireland over the last few weeks is that power cuts are happening on the regularly. We are a believer in you don't have to pick essential loads to back up your home. Powerwall will provide whole home backup in the event of a power outage. So you can see in the image here in the app, it will tell you exactly how much power you've got, how much time you've got left remaining based on the power consumption you're using in your home and how much energy is in your battery system as well. And what we're looking to do is maximize the amount of solar generation from your roof. So Powerwall can simultaneously charge at 5 kilowatts and allow 5 kilowatts to power the home. The max solar PV system we recommend is 13 kilowatts. We're actually working to improve this to increase it to 15 kilowatts. Powerwall is actually capable of way much more power. It's actually capable of up to 11 kilowatts continuous power. However, we've had to curtail it to match the ESB requirements over there in Ireland. So yeah, maybe one day we could bring the full 11 kilowatts of power, but as it stands at the moment, 5 kilowatts is the max power we can provide over there. Now, one of the things we've also released is our Powerwall expansion packs. Now, something we heard a lot of with Powerwall 2 was that customers would like a second unit just for the capacity. They didn't need any more power. However, DNOs were rejecting it. So what we've done is design the expansion packs as a way to get around this. The expansion packs allow you to add an additional 13.5 kilowatt hours of capacity with no more power electronics. It connects together, as you can see in the image, that black cable is our DC harness that we've manufactured. It plugs into the lead unit and then into the expansion pack, and that's it. You recommission the units, and I kid you not, the one I had in my house took 30 minutes to install. I've got an installer in London who's doing 3 of these in a day, just driving around adding expansion packs onto existing sites. So it allows you to scale up your size of your system really easily and significantly cheaper as well because you don't have those extra power electronics that the lead Powerwall would have. Now, one of the kind of real key features of Powerwall is what we call Tesla Opticaster, which is our AI software. It's a product we built designed for our mega packs, which is a utility scale battery solution you can see in that image. And it's a machine learning algorithm based on forecasting and giving you control. Now, on this next slide, we'll break down how it works, but basically it will fine tune exactly how it should operate based on you as an individual user. Now, uh, thank you, George. Now, I'll look at you in terms of you get up in the morning, you turn on your shower, you boil your kettle, it learns these habits as you, and will start to build your load forecast. It will then look at what to expect in terms of solar generation from weather forecasting, and then we'll start to make decisions based on what tariffs you're on, what cheap energy you can access, what solar you're going to generate to make sure we're running your home as cheap as we possibly can. So it's constantly fine tuning, re-evaluating the sources to give you the best way to run your home. And with that fine tuning, it accounts for seasonality. So as you move into the winter months and you're using your lights and your heating more, it will build in that extra demand and look at how we can reduce your costs of running your property even more. And the whole point of it is just basically increasing your renewable consumption and driving greater economic savings and driving greater monetary value with tying in with virtual power plants as well. So it's really just designed to fit and forget. You select your energy retail tariff, it will learn from your habits, and it will make those decisions for you to be as efficient as possible. Right, on to durability. So a lot of numbers on here. Tesla are the largest manufacturer of inverters in the world. It's in every product we build, the vehicles, the Mega Pack, the Powerwall, the Power Pack, absolutely everything has inverters inside it. We've actually manufactured our 1 millionth Powerwall. So very excited to see where in the world that one turns up. I'm sure we'll have a big celebration when that's installed. We have more than 500,000 solar jobs installed by us in America. Our solar roof product and our solar tiles are currently only available there. We have more than 2 terawatts of power electronics built with 70,000 superchargers globally, 3 million vehicles. The list goes on and on. But what we're trying to say here is we've got this saying internally that we eat our own dog food. We design the products, we mine the materials, we manufacture them, we install them, we service them. We go through the entire life cycle of everything we manufacture. So when it comes in your hands, you know it's tried and tested and it will stand up to the environments and will do exactly everything we said it would do when we first promised it when we released the products. Now, heat modes is a real key feature for Powerwall. Powerwall 2 was the first in the market and was the only one in the market for a long time that had inbuilt thermal management. We've massively upgraded this with Powerwall 3. So Powerwall will operate as low as minus 20 degrees without any drop in performance. I've been in minus 16 here in Glasgow and I've tested it pretty closely. But it gives you comfort that in those winter months, you're not going to be left with a battery that's outside on the wall that's doing nothing. It's can be installed outdoors straight out the box. It's IP67 rated. You don't need any additional equipment to make it fit for outdoors. So you just take it out of the box and mount it to the wall. It's that simple. And if we look at the next slide, how we've done that. Powerwall 2 was kind of dumb. Basically, if it was cold outside, it would warm the cells. We've massively improved this with Powerwall 3 and completely redesigned the heating architecture. So we've embedded a resistive heater on each individual cell. That allows us to warm the cell much more efficiently. And using the same logic as Opticaster, it will only warm the cells in line with when it is expecting you to carry out behavior that involves the battery charging or discharging. For any of you on the call who have a Tesla vehicle, it's very similar in terms of preconditioning the battery when you approach a supercharger. It's exactly the same logic. So it's only warming itself with when it's expecting you to do something in the home that involves using energy. So it's a massive overall in terms of how we can heat and increase your performance during the winter months. From a cooling perspective, Powerwall 2 had a liquid kind of cooling system. Across the 700,000 of them we deployed globally, we never once cooled a single Powerwall 2. So we probably over-engineered it to that degree. We've fixed that with Powerwall 3. It's an air convection cooling system. It draws air through the bottom of the unit up through it and exhausts through the rear, which is a cost saving in the production build as well. So we've readdressed that with Powerwall 3. And it's also flood proof. You can submerge it in 2 feet of water and it will still continue to operate. There is a video on our YouTube channel. I've not included it in this because it doesn't play very well when you're presenting online. However, check it out. There's a Powerwall in a fish tank powering a load of items in a property. The guy who installed the Powerwall 3 in my house from America actually installed this and showed me pictures of him standing in that fish tank wiring it up. So it is actually a real working unit. But if you have a customer who is at an area that is at risk of flooding, as long as they are not more than 2 feet underwater, their Powerwall will still continue to provide energy. If they are more than 2 feet underwater, they've got bigger problems than if we're providing energy to their homes. So it gives you a comfort blanket knowing that if they're in an area of a flood risk, we've got your back and we'll keep continue to provide power to your home. We also do a lot in terms of disaster relief, and this is because it's such a reliable product. When I joined Tesla in 2017, we were rebuilding the grid in Puerto Rico after it was hit by hurricanes. We have deployed Powerwall to support fighting wildfires in California. We have sent thousands of units to Ukraine to support the war effort there. Powerwall is keeping entire hospitals online in Ukraine. We've built like a micro power station that has Powerwall 3 gateway. It also has like the Starlink from our sister company providing communication. So we do a lot in terms of disaster relief, and that's because Powerwall can stand up to the harshest environments, whether it be wildfires, hurricanes, flooding, even war. We can stand up to those environments and provide power to those who need it. Um, and moving on to the next slide, like we can stand up to these environments. And what we're trying to do is make our whole overall system more reliable. Like I say, we've just produced our 1 millionth Powerwall. I don't think there's another battery in the world that can claim to have 1 million of their products deployed globally. Now, what we're trying to do is bring that reliability to your whole system. So you maybe have a third-party solar panel on the roof with third-party microinverters, a completely different manufacturer of battery, and a different inverter manufacturer again. So there's multiple points of failure there, multiple different warranties, multiple issues for you as an installer. What we're trying to do with Powerwall 3 is address all of that by having one box on the side of the wall. It couldn't get any easier. If it fails, we give you a new one and it comes off the wall and the bulb goes on. It really is that simple. And what you'll see in this next slide is for the full 10-year warranty, we do not just cover the parts, we cover the labor as well. We stand by you as a partner, so it doesn't matter if it fails in year 9, month 11, we will replace that power wall and we will pay you for your time to go back to site. So we stand by you as a partner and our own customers to ensure they're getting the best possible service from our products. On to installation, this will be a very high touch level overview of some of it. I won't go into the actual installation details of this. We will work with the team at Segen to do a more dedicated install deck. But what we've got here is the Powerwall 3 inverter has 3 strings. So tons of flexibility in terms of how you can design your property. Sorry, you can design the solar system. It has, you can actually go as low as 2 modules and as high as 15 per string. So you've got that flexibility. If you've got an awkward roof, if you've got shading, you can put them on a separate string and isolate them away from the rest of the system. So it gives you flexibility without having to include any microinverters. We've actually got on our partner portal a stringing tool so you can design your solar system based on what panels you use, and it will tell you what the max and minimum number of modules you can have per string is based on the voltages. So taking away the guesswork, and we've tried to make it as easy as we can for you on the roof to design the product. This is the solar string tool I mentioned about. QR codes on screen. I will gibber for a couple of minutes to give you a chance to scan the QR code. Highly recommend having access to this. It just allows you to select from a drop-down list of what panels you're using. If it's not on the drop-down list, you can free type the details into it as well. But please shoot a message over to us and we'll add any panels you want into there to make sure it's easy as possible for you. But it's basically designed to just take any guesswork away. We've gone through a huge amount of data from multiple panel manufacturers to make sure that as many options are there as possible. New panels come out all the time, so just keep us informed if there's anything we're missing. But this is just a handy tool for you to use when you're designing your system. I think I've gibbered enough there, George.
Absolutely.
Thank you, mate. From a packaging perspective, all the packaging in the Powerwall, we've built these new clamshell designs, so there's no pallets. The pallets kind of inbuilt into the packaging. It's very strong. It can hold my weight standing on top of it and jumping on it, so you shouldn't have any damage in transit. The packaging is fully returnable. We're working with the team in the Segen to just work through the process for that for you, but we'll communicate that in the not too distant future. We want it back because it improves our sustainability. We will reuse this packaging for future Powerwalls, so it just helps improve the overall sustainability of the product. So we'll communicate those details in the not too distant future. When you return it to us, there's the one, oh, sorry, thanks, George. The
All
one we
right.
want to return to us is we actually stack them um, 14 bases to one cover or 14 covers to one base. I have to put that text on the screen because it always fries my brain. It's a bit of a tongue twister. So that's where we ask you to stack them. That's as high as we would take them. But as I say, we'll communicate the full details with the CGen team. Now, on this next slide, George has given away the special dolly. We've actually designed some lifting equipment to make moving the Powerwall easier. This is a video, George, but don't play it because it doesn't play too well when it's virtual. Essentially, what we've tried to do is make it as easy as possible to get it off the van and on the wall. As you can see from the image on screen, there is two handles at the bottom kind of third of that unit. Those detach from the dolly and attach into the power wall. There's actually a section you can screw them into it. The dolly then connects into the power wall that you can then lift and maneuver very freely. It has big rubber wheels as a Shimano disc brake from the bikes, so it gives you full control over how you move the unit. And the best part is there's a thread at the back of it you can attach your drill to that will lift and lower the power wall for you. So even mounting it on the wall is taking away the issues. Now, this was designed to make life easier. What we found is actually reducing manpower on site because you need less people on site to move it. When I got I've helped install the first couple of Powerwall 3s in the UK when it came here. It took four of us to move the Powerwall without the dolly, and when we had the dolly, we could do it with two of us. So it was a massive difference in terms of manpower on site. So although there's options out there that don't include a Tesla branding on it, I do recommend this because it will make your life a lot easier. Now, in the box, when you open the box, you will have obviously the Powerwall 3 itself. We have the reinforced glass front door. We have the wall mounting bracket. We have the accessory bag, which contains all the ferrites and ferrule cores and things like that. Everything you need to get the job up and running. And number four is the air intake screen. That just clips over the bottom. Like I said earlier, we've got air cooling. That just stops any debris being taken into the unit. So you shouldn't need anything above this other than the gateway. Everything you need comes in the box. You don't need to order any accessory parts unless you're doing like obscure three-phase sites, which we'll cover in a separate webinar on the installations. Now, inside the Powerwall, now George, you're going to bear with me. So this is the taco. This is the Tesla asset controller. This is the brains that everything does. All your AC connections come in here. As you can maybe see, I'll probably need to get a better image of this, but there's two Ethernet ports in there. What we ask you to do is take your Ethernet cable from your router to the taco in the Powerwall. It's the most reliable connection. However, there's also Wi-Fi enabled in here and a SIM card in here as well. There is no data cost to end customer. We pick up all the data costs. So you've got 3 points of connection there. You may be asking, why is there two Ethernet ports? That's because if you're having multiple power walls, you can daisy chain the comms by going Ethernet port from port A to port A in the next, sorry, port B into port A of the next one, and they just daisy chain together very nicely. So that's the taco. Next one. DC wiring, so it's got an inbuilt DC disconnect switch. You bring your solar straight into there, and all your MPPTs are pre-wired for you in that lovely rainbow coloured cable, as you can see on the right-hand side. So that takes all the work out from you there. The next one, George, is the AC cabling. So we have a gateway. You'll bring all your cables from the gateway into here. Like I say, I am not an electrician. I will have a separate webinar for you guys to get all the details on the full installation of it. But you bring your AC cabling into there from the gateway. One more, George. The battery pack is all situated in this bottom two-thirds of the unit. So as I was saying, this is pretty much the area that you can submerge in water. It's all laser welded, so anything above there, obviously, you're at risk of hitting the power electronics, but this is all fully submergible. And then last but not least, the power electronics are all within that section there as well. So they're all protected in there. The inverter's within it as well. So yeah, that's probably a good overview in terms of what's inside the unit. Um, Next one, please, George. Uh, this is a kind of closer up view of everything I said there. So, one of the things I said earlier was we wanted to make it as easy as we can to install. This whole top third of the unit does that. There's tons of wiring area. As you can see, what we call number two is the wiring routing area. We've got some plastic clips up there. You can run cables through the back to keep them neat and tidy. What I will say is you can see the service loop there at number four. I highly recommend making sure when you do your installations, you leave that service loop, especially if you're going to go at future and add on expansion packs. You can stack the Powerwall and expansion packs front to back, and that service loop just gives you enough cable you can move it off the wall because the expansion packs always need to go behind the Powerwall. So that just gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of how you can design your site. Now, this is the gateway. So this is where the backup changeover goes. Formerly, it is where the brains of the Powerwall was. Powerwall 2, the brains of it was inside the gateway. That's not the case with Powerwall 3. In here, you can island the home. Essentially, you'll have unable to bring in your supply. So you bring your meter tails straight from the meter into the gateway. And that way we can island the home in the event of a power cut. You've also got the option of non-backup loads. So if you have something like a heat pump or an EV charger or a hot tub, anything that's a big draw that you do not want to have power in the case of a power cut, you can put on there. It's entirely up to the customer, but what we find is 98% of customers just go for whole home backup. It's got a dead cover that goes on to protect it, make sure no one can get into the buzz bar at the bottom. The dim rail at the bottom, that is yours to do with as you wish. You can put an EV charger in there, you can put your heat pump breakers in there. That is your space to do whatever you wish with. And then it's got the same glass front door as the Powerwall 3, so it maintains the same aesthetics as well. Oh, right, okay, onto the expansion packs in a little bit more detail. Um, Thanks, George. So yeah, we've designed this, as I said earlier, to make this as easy as we possibly can to extend the capacity of the system. Multiple systems, make it more affordable. It's all pre-configured to make it as easy as possible to install and as quick as possible to install because time is money. On the next slide, we've got a couple of ways in terms of how you can stack the system and a couple of kind of the data sheets here. Now, as you can see here, the cable's not blue. That's just us highlighting it to show you how easy it is to kind of run together. There's three different lengths of cable. A half meter, 2 meters, and 4 meters. You can daisy chain them together. It's a pre-made factory cable. Do not cut the cable. It comes in predetermined lengths. If you find you need longer cables, please reach out to me and we can start to explore that. But what we've found is we've not had any issues with the lengths we have. Now, on this next slide, as I said, you can stack them front to back. We have multiple stacking kits, which I think is the next slide, George. It's the one after. So I'll cover you through this. So this is the kind of key details on the expansion pack. So as I said, 13.5 kilowatt hours capacity, exactly the same as Powerwall 3. The max system size you can have is 4 lead Powerwall 3 units and 3 expansion packs. That's it at the moment. We are exploring taking that further. So you can have 4 lead Powerwalls, each having 3 expansion packs, which would take you up to 16 Powerwalls worth of capacity. When you add an expansion pack, it increases your charge power up to 8 kilowatts, so it allows you to charge more from your solar. You can floor or wall mount these the same as the Powerwall. You can have up to 3 expansions behind the lead Powerwall only. And it's only compatible with Powerwall 3. It shouldn't be an issue with Ireland because I never had Powerwall 2, but I am aware some of them somehow made their way over. And the only way to connect them is with the expansion harness. So like I said, do not cut them. They come pre-made. There is a chip inside the harness so we can make sure it's installed correctly and measure DC flow. So do not cut those cables. So this is what I said earlier. So this is the max system size you can do just now. So 4 Powerwall 3 units with 3 expansion packs on the lead unit. Gives you up to 94.5 kilowatt hours of capacity. Soon, when we launch the full 16, you'll have up to 20 kilowatts of power. And 216 kilowatt hours of capacity, so it's massive. So we'll keep you all posted when that's available. That's been explored just now, but it's giving you that flexibility of depending if you've got a site. We've got some of them here in the UK. They've got swimming pools and stuff like that. That's when you need those additional expansions. So we'll keep you updated with that once the engineering team are ready to roll it out. And this is there's two different ways to kind of mount the expansion packs, and this is one of the things I just wanted to make clear because I think there's a wee bit of confusion when we first launched it here in the UK. You can on the left hand side you can see we stack it front to back. Now what you would need is the stack kit, and what that basically comes with is the an extra bracket for mounting the units together, and a waterproof shim that slides in between the two units. If you're installing it side by side, you need the wall mount kit, and essentially that comes with a wall bracket and a Powerwall glass door. The expansion pack does not come with the glass door as standard. The reason for that is we don't want you guys having a stock of glass doors because you've decided to start them front to back. So it's in the wall mount kit because you don't need the glass door if you're going to be stacking them front to back. As I said, the expansion harnesses are three different lengths. They're all compatible regardless of how you stack it. But what I will say is the half meter is the perfect length if you're stacking them front to back. So just keep that in mind if you're designing this on site. And we do expect the expansion packs to be in Ireland early September. So we'll keep you posted on that as we finalise the compliance on that particular part. Now, from an installer perspective, we have a full app dedicated to you. Again, I will jabber on so you can scan the QR code on screen and download the app. Essentially, this will take you through all the commissioning process of the site, allow you to do job checkouts. It also allows you to access all the installation manuals and videos, so it takes away any guesswork. Everything you could possibly need is all in one app, and we've designed it to be your installer's best friend. Like when you're on site, it should guide them exactly how you do the installation. Now, see this next slide for me, please, George. Now, when they get to site, and I think if you tap it one more time, please, George, because it's got a video on the left-hand side, but you scan the QR code in the Powerwall, not the gateway, and it will start the process of the commissioning. As you can see here, it scans the QR code and it will begin to go through step by step. And we've tried to make this as easy as we possibly can. It's got 4 sections. You work your way through the sections. Once you complete a section, it's got a green tick on it. That's good to go. If it's got a red X, something's wrong. When you walk away from site, you should see all green ticks. That job's up and running. There's nothing more for the engineer to do. Pack the tools and go home. It really is that simple. If you see a red X and they can't figure out why, we've got 24/7 support. Give us a bell. If you phone between 9 and 6, you get the team in Amsterdam. If you call before or after that, we have the Americans and the Australians. So it's always English speaking support available to you when you need us. Now, this is the job checkout, and it's optional at the end of commissioning. However, we really want you to do it. And the reason for that is it asks you to take about 5 pictures. That's it. Nothing major. But what it allows us to do is if there's any issues when you leave site and you phone our support team and raise a ticket, we can look at these and see exactly how the wiring's done. And it allows us to troubleshoot so much more without asking anyone to go to site. So although it's optional, I ask you please to complete it. It just makes everyone's experience so much easier. So please make sure your engineers are doing job checkouts once they've completed the commissioning of the system. Now, also, you guys all have access to the partner portal. Please use this. It's got absolutely everything you could possibly need in there, from design, installation documents, post aftercare documents, all the marketing material you can need. Absolutely everything here is a one-stop shop. We have our online training, our online fleet management. You can manage everyone in your business and what access they have to this. This is absolutely everything you could possibly need. So please take the time to get familiar with it. We constantly update this with the fresh documents. You'll receive notifications as we update different documents, but please use this because this will be your best friend as you move forward with Powerwall. As I touched on, you've got Tesla Learning. Now, all the courses are optional, but the exam is mandatory. Now, anyone who attended the roadshows that we hosted in Ireland a couple of weeks ago, you have technically sat through these courses in person. What I say is please fill the final exam. It should take you no longer than 20 minutes to sit that exam. If you do not sit that exam and you start commissioning Powerwall, it does trigger us on our system to reach out to you. If you continue to do installations without sitting that exam, we will start to restrict your visibility on our website. So please just do the exam, do the courses. The courses are about an hour long. The exam takes about 20 minutes. Just get yourself familiar with the product and make sure your engineers are fully up to speed before they go on site. It will give them tons of tricks to avoid any issues. It's been designed by our team here in Europe, so it's very much focused on the challenges we face. So there's tons of things in there that will just make their life a lot easier, and it really is in their best interest to do so. Now, in the apps as well, we constantly send updates and newsletters. These will also be sent to your email addresses as well. There is tons of really interesting things we send out. Sometimes it's a new application note to allow you to do more with a meter. Sometimes it's an update. As you can see in the image there, we actually ran a rebate a couple of years ago that was giving end customers the chance to claim £350 back per Powerwall they had installed. So there's a whole host of things that we do. We send a newsletter out monthly, and it will contain probably 5 or 6 key pieces of information. We try not to flood it with too much info, but we'll cover like key updates to make sure you're aware. So just keep an eye out for that coming in. I think the next one's due to go out on the 25th of July. So enjoy reading that. And on to the last section, which is value. So our warranty, um, George will probably laugh at this because he's probably heard me say this multiple times over the years. I hate a bad warranty. I got stung years ago about my heat pump that had a small slip of paper amongst 500 other pieces of paper you've got to send away to get your warranty extended. It's none of that with us. It's 2 pages, jargon free. It's super, super simple. It starts straight away from when the job's commissioned. So when your installers commission that job on site, that's it. There's no additional steps being done. You don't have to fill in anything in a portal. The customer doesn't have to do anything. It starts there. It's 10 years. So it encompasses absolutely everything. So even like our meters are get 10-year warranties. It covers all parts. It's 100% depth of discharge, unlimited charge cycles. If any point it drops below 80% energy retention over those 10-year periods, we give you a brand new one. It is as simple as that. We need our products to be reliable to make sure you guys are happy with them, and they absolutely are. You don't get to produce a million units unless you have a reliable product, and this warranty really stands by that. So yeah, it really is the best warranty in the market. And all our products get better over time. When I joined Tesla at the Powerwall 2 launch, it didn't even have the ability to charge from the grid from time-based control. That was a feature we rolled out through an over-the-air update. And as you can see, over the years, we've rolled out different features like Stormwatch, charging solar, VPPs. All of these are released free of charge. It's a no man left behind policy at Tesla. Doesn't matter if you buy a Powerwall today, in a year's time, 5 years ago, they all get the same features. So every product we produce, same with the cars, gets better over time, and Powerwall's no different. Now, to give you a flavour of what is on the horizon, we are working on bringing out a non-backup option of Powerwall. Basically, that will mean you can install Powerwall without the gateway and replace it with a meter. Now, on parts alone, that's about a €500 saving just on parts, and it's probably about the same again, up to €700 of an installation saving. So it'll make Powerwall much more affordable. Now, I still believe a lot of customers will choose to go for backup, but it gives us a lower point of entry into the market and can compete with some of the smaller systems as well. In Q4, we will start to deliver the first expansion packs into Ireland. And then the one that probably everyone's really excited about is we will finally have a true three-phase Powerwall 3 with three-phase backup. It's in design at the moment. It's been a long time coming. I'm very excited to be able to bring it to the market, and we'll keep you all posted as we get closer to that. Yeah, so very big things happening in that space. Uh, and just as we approach the end, one of the things I want to say is, like I said earlier, we have got tons and tons of marketing assets available to you. Lifestyle imagery, banner templates for your website, social media tiles, you name it, there is a host of stuff there. We've even got customer videos you can use. Now, please use this. You've got the power of one of the largest brands in the world. There's not many certified installers in Ireland. Like you're an elite group that can shout about being a partner of ours. Please use these assets to shout about it. Tag us in our social media channels. We've got a Tesla Energy channel on X. Tag us in your installs, and we will reshare them. And I think we've got over 300,000 followers just in that one group. So it's got a good audience to share these kind of things with. So please shout about it. If you've got any questions, or if you want to do something a bit odd and a bit funky, we love that. Reach out to us. The email address from the marketing team's on screen. If you've got a wild idea, we'll love it even more. So just reach out to us. We're more than happy to support with any ideas you've got. And it's available now. It's finally available in Ireland. As I was saying when I launched last week, when I joined Tesla, I've been trying to get Powerwall in Ireland for 8 years. So it was a very happy moment for me last week being able to launch it officially in Ireland. We will start deliveries to Segen at the end of this month. So I fully expect the first installs at the start of August. As George said, Segen is our exclusive distribution partner in Ireland. You cannot buy it from anywhere else. Both the Segen team and the Tesla team are here to support you. So please reach out to us. We're very, very keen to be successful in Ireland and support you guys being successful with Powerwall in Ireland. So no questions too daft. Nothing's out of the picture. Please reach out to us. We are absolutely here to support you as we bring Powerwall into Ireland for the first time.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Gary.
Thanks,
So
George.
yeah, we'll take it to the floor now, guys. If there's any questions at all, there is a Q&A sort of feature on Zoom, so you should be able to type a question and we can have a look as they come through. Um, I'll give you a couple of minutes to just type away anything you've got. Just so you're all aware as well, we are recording this webinar, so don't worry about sort of missing any of the links or codes that Gary's mentioned. We're recording this, we'll send it out to you sort of the end of today, early tomorrow. And then you can share that with any colleagues who weren't able to make it today as well. Um, so yeah, if there is any questions, now is the time. But if not, it's just so comprehensive, Gary. You just cover everything, mate.
I know, eh? Max DC size system in terms of PV system, 13 kilowatts. Just back to the max DC system size, the MPPTs. Yeah, so on this, yeah, we can share that slide with you, Richard. We've got a voltage range in terms of what you can do per MPPT. Now, what we're saying is up to 13 kilowatts of PV, obviously, depending on the panel used, which is why we've got the stringing tool for you to use. So, yeah, we can share that slide with you after this so you can have a look at those ranges. But like I say, in the partner portal, all you have to do is put in the panel you're using and we'll do the calcs for you. Where can you access data specification sheets and price lists for Powerwall? George, I'm pretty sure you can help with that, the
Yeah,
CGN
absolutely.
team.
So it's all on our Segen portal. So if you are a Segen partner, you get access to that. If not, again, we can help you with that today. So if you want to just, like I say, after today, we'll send you an email with everything on this, and we can send you a link to become a Segen partner too. Then all the information that you need will be on our portal. Right, okay. If there is nothing, well, see, every time I go to,
Right, okay. So, what's the weight per? It's 130 kilos. Like all batteries, we do not advise putting it in the attic. I don't think any battery should be in an attic. We've designed Powerwall 3 to be installed anywhere you want it, but we appreciate space as a premium indoors. So that's why we've designed it. You can fit it outdoors, IP67 rated, thermally managed. Like space indoors is a premium. Fit it on the wall outside. It's a good looking bit of kit. Don't worry about the performance. Like we've designed it to make sure it'll perform even in the coldest, wettest temperatures. Um, so yeah, yeah, definitely don't put it in an attic. That's for sure. You can put it indoors, but or outdoors, but don't put it in an attic.
garages are a nice sort of in between, aren't they, Gary? So,
Garages are the
yeah,
perfect place because it maintains a nice temperature without getting too cold. That is the ideal place. You're right.
bro. Okie dokie, guys. If there's no more questions, we will wrap it up here. Again, thank you so much for coming and listening. We hope you've got something out of this today. Again, we'll send out an email following up on everything that we've covered here today. A big thank you to Gary for joining us. As always, smashed out the park, Gary. So informative. Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
George.
And we'll see you all next time, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.